Hey, what's the deal, man? It's your boy Tag, Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As of this recording, it is 3:52 p.m., April 11th, 2026. You know what I mean? But the upload time to this is actually 11:30. You know what I mean? It's Saturday night, and oh man. I'm sorry if this bang, if you hear banging. Like people right here, there's a scaffold that fixes stuff here in this part of Brooklyn. Dave Meltzer. Jesus Christ. You know, I can't, man. I fucking can't with Dave Meltzer. You know, Dave Meltzer's the only guy, well, yeah, he's the only guy who actually appeared on AEW and, who went to AEW show and the WWE show, almost within weeks of each other, right? Because they was in San Jose yesterday, right? And the only difference is Dave Meltzer appeared on AEW camera, but he was at SmackDown. He was at SmackDown yesterday in San Jose, right? He was front row, watching the match and shit. And I had just laughed. And then there was a fan saying, was heckling him. They was like, yo, you're 60 years old. Leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy who is an AEW cockrider. Dave Meltzer is an AEW cockrider, okay? Dave Meltzer is a guy who, we know he's getting paid by Tony Khan. He's on the fucking payroll because the stuff that he does for AEW is ridiculous. I mean, how many five-star matches, how many five-star matches has this motherfucker given, to a lot of people at AEW? How many? He's given them a lot. I mean, he's given a lot of matches in AEW, 5 stars, just like candy, like Halloween. Here you go. Here's 5 stars. Here's 5 stars. Here's 5 stars. Right? But yeah, he goes to a WWE show. And he's front row. This motherfucker's front row. We're not really front row, but like he's in the front. He's in the front, but like a little bit to the back, if you know what I mean. But not like completely to the front. You know what I'm saying? Like the motherfucker was sitting down, and I'm pretty sure, who knows? They probably spoke about it. They probably spoke about it at, on the Wrestling Observer. They probably did, like what they did, Dave at Dynamite, right? Or Dave on SmackDown. I hope someone listens to what I'm about to say. I would want someone to make, a CAW in WWE 2K26 of Dave Meltzer, right? Get Dave Meltzer a career mode and have this motherfucker go from AEW to WWE and WWE to AEW. Right? That would be some funny shit. Listen, he can go wherever he wants. I mean, it's his prerogative, it's his prerogative. But the man is a fucking hypocrite. The man is just a piece of shit. He is so full of shit with his reporting and his biasism that you can smell baloney through Dave Meltzer. You could. I could fucking smell baloney through that motherfucker like pizza at a pizzeria. That's how full of shit Dave Meltzer is. The fact that he was on SmackDown, you can see him. You can see him. Actually, what a fan recorded it. A fan recorded Dave Meltzer there, right? A fan did. I have friends at WWE. But you're an AEW cockrider, my man. I don't know who's worse. Like I said, I don't know who's worse, him or Sap. I'm surprised Sap, as fruity as that motherfucker is, I'm surprised this motherfucker never went, front row to an AEW show. You know what I mean? Like in Kentucky, we're here, Sean Ross Sapp. You know what I mean? So anytime where WWE goes to San Jose, you're expected to see Dave Meltzer. You are expected to see that motherfucker. Imagine that episode where we seen Dave Meltzer in the front row. Imagine he would have got out, right? He would have got out, and start attacking people. Dave Meltzer, Dave Meltzer had the greatest opportunity of a lifetime to become an on-air character, right? That shit would be funny as hell. You know, Dave Meltzer as, you know, a fucking master in, you know, on AEW television programming. You know, on AEW programming. Dave Meltzer. That would be some funny shit. Remember, this is the same motherfucker who, and I reported this months ago, where it was a claim that he claimed that WWE offered him, a seat on the writing team. They offered him to be a part of the creative team, and he turned it down. He's like, "Oh, I'm a journalist. You know, I went to school for journalism." You know, but this is what Dave Meltzer does. This is what Dave Meltzer does. You know, Dave Meltzer is, he's different, bro. He's different. And I'm shocked. I am honestly shocked that he has never started his own wrestling promotion. Never. You know, this is the same guy who was like, oh, well, you know, if I'm AEW, I'm looking at both Lola Vice and Kendall Gray, you know, for talent to steal. You know, also, what's his face wrestled in his first official match? Two people wrestled in their first official matches on television. Ironically enough, two former AEW stars. Royce Keys, which I thought was puzzling. Because I thought he would have debuted after WrestleMania. And Danhausen, who I thought WWE didn't even want to, you know, have him wrestle. Now, I mean, he's already a hot commodity without wrestling. You know what I mean? But I'm shocked that they have him wrestle. You know, but hey, you know. But again, Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer, I don't know, man. Like and listen, he can go wherever he wants to go. He can go wherever he wants to go, but he is just so full of shit, yo. You talk about a bullshit artist, like, you know, like you see, you know, in pro wrestling, there's none to Dave Meltzer. None. You know, and then the other thing too is a lot of these indie wrestling stars, or a lot of wrestlers, you know, are trying to suck his cock to get, you know, 5 stars. He also did an interview, and I doubt this was a new interview. I seen a clip of why Dave Meltzer didn't give 5 stars to the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match. And he just said a bunch of bullshit. And what I said was, if this was in New Japan, he probably would have gave it 10 stars. He would have gave it 10 stars. Because this is what the fuck kind of person Dave Meltzer is. You know, he's a Japan cockwriter. You know what I mean? That's exactly what he is, you know? But, you know, if you guys want to go and believe everything he says, and, you know, you can feel when he's genuine with reports, and you can also feel when he's full of shit. You can feel it. Like, you got intuition, you know? But that's just what it is. Yeah, sorry about that, the pause, you know, because there was someone behind me, but you can tell when he's genuine and when he's full of shit, you know? And to me, he's full of shit because, again, like, he was in AEW television, not really in television. They spotted him right on the, you know, in the front, right? But he was also at SmackDown, right? Yeah, I guess you could say he's the only one. He's you know, the third free agent who WWE brought from AEW this year. Royce Keys, Danhausen, and Dave Meltzer. Oh man, Dave Meltz. That's why I call him Meltz, because again, he's just so full of shit. You know, he's like a stain that you can't get off. You know. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna definitely holler at you, Mayana. You have a good night, because I definitely will be watching Wild Women of Wrestling. You know what I mean? I think, you know, I think they're gonna have the tag match with Miami Sweet Heat against Ashley Blaze and Tara Strike. You know, and I kept saying, you know, Kara Strike. It's Kara Kai. And I think Kara Kai comes in, and I think she fucks up, you know, Ashley Blaze and Tara Strike's chances of winning the Wild Women's Tag Team Championships. But that should be fun. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. I'm going to holler at you, Mayana. Peace.